I'm Renee Amador. I'm the CEO and co-founder at AR I'm joined here by a few other members of my team. Arlene Rivera, who's our marketing manager, who put together an amazing NAB show for us. So thank you so much, Arlene. And Arlene was the person that was right there next to me, shoulder to shoulder, making the submissions for ARFX Infinite Studio Show Awards and for the ARFX App for iOS Show Awards. And I'm happy to say we got nominations for both of those. And additionally, we got a win for AI Product of the Year for ARFX Infinite Studio. So if you're wondering, here it is. Product of the Year, NAB Show. So NAB Show is National Association of Broadcasters. It's their annual trade show in Las Vegas, and it's generally considered to be the premier broadcasting and TV technology trade show out there. Thank you so much for everyone saying congrats in the chat. This is the second year that we have won AI Product of the Year at NAB Show. And to clarify, what does this mean? So this award is judged by industry professionals. It's a mixture of actual artists and technicians who are working on these productions, as well as technical providers themselves, and then of course leadership within the TV industry and broadcast industry. So it's our own industry that is deciding to award us this. So it's very rewarding because of that. It's actually, from our perspective, it's significant traction that we're going in the right direction. So why did we win? Why did we get nominated? Why did we win? Why did any of this happen? So I'm going to try and address those questions specifically on this webinar, and I'll go through the features that we think are the most interesting in ARFX Infinite Studio. And if you're interested, you can actually, it's a free download, the ARFX app. And Infinite Studio is a chat agent inside of it. And I'm actually running it on my laptop here. If you're wondering where I am or anything like that, if you go, what is going on here? This is not where Renee usually is. I'm at the Venetian Hotel where I've been staying, and so I'm here on the hotel Wi-Fi. If that craps out at some point, that's what's going on there. And I'm on my laptop, and this is a nice new it's about a $3,000 laptop that's sitting in front of me. It's one of the new Surface Studio Pro Microsoft laptops. It has and this is all going to be very relevant as I show this demo. It has an RTX 2000 ADA inside of it, which is amazingly a Quadro equivalent card. So this little bad boy that I'm on right now, which weighs about, I don't know, 4 pounds, can do Mosaic, can do NVIDIA Mosaic. Now, if you're a virtual production person, that's something special to do. People do Mosaic off of a laptop. That's the type of thing that I think 5 years ago was relegated to like a rack-mounted server with a big, $40,000 price point, that type of thing. So I'm going to be doing this all on my laptop. Um, let's say half of that is because of some hardware innovations that have occurred since then, but there's another half to that is because of some of the integrations that we put into the software. So I'm very happy to be talking about these. So one of the messages that I'm going to give today is that the software that we've released, ARFX Infinite Studio, is addressable to many low-end devices that are out there. At the NAB Show booth, we were on a 4-year-old small device. It was a first generation RTX 2000 that was running this, and we were pumping out certainly suitable frames we're using the Infinite Studio Viewer and while creating the generative AI assets. Okay, just a very brief video that's going to,
Hello,
I think,
everyone.
that's going to, I think, be very helpful to explain what we're up to here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renee Amador, the co-founder and CEO of ARWall. You're joining us here at the NAB Show booth in Las Vegas, NAB Show 2025. We're showing off here two things this year. The first is the ARFX Infinite Studio. This is a new XR AI hybrid ecosystem, so you can generate images, videos, depth maps, music, audio, 3D environment. It's got 9 generative AI models integrated with it. We're happy to say we have a second product, ARFX App for iOS, which is a companion app to the ARFX App and ARFX Infinite Studio for iOS devices. So you have an iPhone, an iPad, you can now use this as your tracker in addition to the remote control for your virtual scene. So we received 2 nominations, one nomination for the ARFX Infinite Studio and another nomination for ARFX App for iOS. And I'm happy to say last night we won for ARFX Infinite Studio AI Product of the Year here at NAB Show 2025. This is a new product. It's a very exciting product that is suited specifically to the creator economy. If you're a solo creator, if you're a marketer, if you're interested in using virtual production and you don't know how to get started, ARFX Infinite Studio and the ARFX app are going to be a great fit for you. If you're interested in checking out ARFX Infinite Studio, you can find it on our website at arwall.co. You can get started for just $99 a month to get started with this thing. So hope you check it out. Thanks so much for joining us.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you the product, ARFX Infinite Studio, and we're going to play around with it for about 15 minutes here, until about 12:30. And then we're going to start taking requests. If you have any specific challenge that you'd like to see for the design and anything like that, let's give it a whirl here. That's what we're here. We want to push the envelope on this thing. We want to see if we can break it and where the limits are. Okay, so this is the Infinite Studio viewer. I'm actually in Unreal Engine 5 right now. If we look around, you'll see that I've got the Unreal Engine 5 kind of default backdrop with ultra dynamic skies on here. And this very basic, well, not basic at all, but actually very ornate and complicated looking environment here. So this is something that we made last webinar. Here is the ARFX options menu. So this is present in all of our scene packs. And you'll see here that, gosh, it's chugging along, right? That's what we like to see in the beginning of the demo. So we're going to fix that. So we have here all the basics, camera tracking, everything here. If I want to move, change the speed of the virtual camera as I fly around here, this is where I would go. Here's the really essential part, screen size on my tiny little laptop here. I don't have tracking set up today, but here's where it would go for you to do so. You can do SteamVR or 3D tracking. Okay. Let's get to the good stuff. Actually, let me start with talking about the upscaling. So right now, what's happening is we have the scene up at full ranked settings. So, look at this. Reflections, lumen reflections on, illumination, all this is on. Most of these are at epic high or very high. So this is where you would usually start. Temporal super resolution. So this is the where you would start to want to hit the frame rate that you need. So generally, you're going to want to hit 30 or 60, depending on your needs. And so this tool here is basically very similar to what you would see in the video game, right? Render settings, resolution, scale type. So here we have more. This now supports NVIDIA DLSS with way more features that we previously showed. So I can all sorts of goodies. So let's crank it up here. Try and set something good. Ultra performance. And then let's get the reflex. Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, that's helping. Okay. So this is going to lower my overall latency here. This is going to increase my overall frame rate with some trickery here. And we're already seeing it's a bit smoother as we chuck in and out. Okay. So now let me show you what do we actually got here. So this is a generated AI image combined with a depth map. That's what it kind of looks like here. And we can extrude it even more here. That looks like perfect. Big boy. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful extruded scene that we made in generative AI last time. And we've got actual 3D geometry happening in here, objects. And then I can defocus, actually get some depth and nice, interesting stuff happening here. So, okay, so there's the basics, right? That's kind of what we covered last time. All right, let's look at some of the new stuff. One is this stuff. We didn't really talk about this stuff last time. So this is the ability to import like a model. And so let's mess around with this a little bit. So I brought in a GLB. Where the heck is it? It's probably small, so let me increase it in size. There it is. Oh, sorry. There it goes. So this looks like it's being affected by the lighting in the scene. So let me go ahead and prove that by changing the lighting right now. There it goes. Let's zoom out so we can kind of get a perspective of what's happening here. So this is wild, right? So I've got a few things happening. I've got this skybox that I've kind of got on a dial. Let me show you what that looks like. It kind of changed the time of day. It's 4 digits here. You can imagine these 4 digits kind of like military time. High noon. And then I can also do stuff with weather here. So let me mess about. That's super interesting. It's the snow. I'll show you the snow. So there's three things combining to make this environment happen, right? There's the skybox, the weather effects. Then there's this extruded 2D image and depth map. And then there's this 3D file here. All can be combined together to make a scene. So what are we imagining here? That you could make a background and then bring in a 3D model as a foreground element, have your everything that you kind of need. There's really no limit to the quality of the image that can be brought in, or the quality of the 3D file that can be brought in. And of course, you know, you can add textures to this as needed. That's kind of right here as needed. Okay. I think I've done the 15-minute. First off, are there any questions at this point? Let me look into the chat. The wind audio is from the platform. It's something that you can turn off if you want. So, gosh, how did I make that supercar and everything like, and how did I make all those other things and like it was in one scene and everything like that? Okay, so here it is. His is, I mean, gosh, I don't even know. This is the most basic question like you can give a prompter, right? So I literally said, show me an image of a supercar. This is what it made right here. It's one single view that it gave me. And then I said, you know what, make this, you can see real robust creative right here. Make this a 3D model. And then it says I've transformed this supercar image into a 3D model for you. I mean, that's freaking crazy. I mean, just that just blows my mind that you can do it all like right here. And then we're also clicking like music here. I think there's audio right here. Oh wow. Okay, so the visuals need some work, but dang, the audio was not bad. Okay, so this is the other half of Infinite Studio. So in the background here, you've got the viewer. Let me full screen this. Okay, and then the foreground here, I've got the ARFX app. This is the actual thing that you download from our website. So you click right here in Infinite Studio tab. This is where it will prompt you to subscribe if you haven't yet to get access. And then at that point, you'll be given some instructions on how to proceed with this thing. But I mean, the basics are you start building with an image, just like this. Can you make an image of a forest? That's our prompt here. And what happens here is there's an AI studio head. That's what we're calling the chat agent that goes, okay, it's more than just the text prompts that you would send to like Dolly or Stable Diffusion or something like that. It's trying to figure out what your goal is in the creation of this 3D environment or of this specific asset, whatever. So it's going to um, not require you to be as accurate or descriptive as a normal image generator. So what do I mean by that? So if I say, can you make an image of a forest? Come down here. This is what it makes. All right, perfect. Can you upscale this image? This is the next step. What this actually does, it's more than just an upscaler like nearest neighbor or something like that. It's actually re-rendering the entire scene. So the chat agent has an understanding basically of what this image is and then attempts to re-render it at a higher 4K resolution. So you can imagine this is HD, this is 4K. But the other thing that happens here, if you look very closely, so a lot of the aberrations in art and artifacts and even inaccuracies that might be present in this scene, in this rendition, actually get cleaned up here. Because this is more than just an upscaler. It's doing a semi-finishing process to complete this out. So now you have this finisher inside this tool as well. So if you have dumpy, AI imagery from elsewhere, and you're just like, I need it to get sweetened up, this is a great way to do that with this upscaler. Next, you'll have the depth map. Remember when I mentioned that theater is being created by two pieces, to the image and the depth map. So here's the second piece. So how do you make this? You say, can you create a depth map of this image? Again, it's doing a lot. It's going over 50%. It's going more than halfway with you on trying to figure out what you want and what you want and how you want to make this look. Okay. So if you're wondering what these are, on the convention floor, we were having internet issues, so our prompts were not getting through. Okay. So here we go. So now we can create video at this point, and we have like what I showed you before, this kind of video scene. We can create audio. We can now layer contextual audio on that. How do you do that? You just say add audio. How do you make a video? You say, can you make a video of that? So I just want to be clear here. We haven't explained anything since it's an image of a forest. We said it's an image of the forest, and then what did we say after that? We said, can you upscale it? Great. Then we said, can you get a depth map? Great. Then we said, can you make a video? Then we said, can you make audio? You see what I'm getting at here? Here I put some little more stuff here. Make 30 seconds of cheerful forest music, plucking strings and magical tones. That's how we got this one. So I gave it a little bit more on that one. But that's because if you give something just a forest, who knows what it's going to give you back. So I tried to narrow it down here. So okay. So we said forest once, and then we got what, 5 pieces of content. Same thing you can, basically doing with this one. Image of a supercar. So what, I'm not even giving that much. I'm just basically giving a 1-word description. Supercar. There it is. Make this a 3D model. Here we go. And then basically you download this, you import it into the viewer. So this is it. Let's do it once ourselves so that I can show you like how really wild this is. So now we're ready for the requests. Go ahead, dump them into the chat here. We're just gonna plug away at these. Anybody have a request for something that they want to see me do here? So this is, we can, just to cover this, we can do imagery, upscale, depth map, video, contextual audio, music, and 3D object. And I mean, we can combine these. So like we can conceivably turn this supercar into a song. Should I do that? Let's do that. Turn this, hold on. Let me just turn this car into a 30-second instrumental score. I have no idea what this is gonna do. Um, oh, sorry. Orlando private messaged me that he would like to see a horse ranch. Okay, scale of 1 to 10. How crazy is it what you've already seen here on the webinar? Scale of 1 to 10. Everybody put in the chat. 10 being the craziest thing you've seen, and one being whatever. Okay, let's see here. So that was the um that so sorry, let me just explain what happened. I told this our studio head. So imagine I am a very, very demanding filmmaker, right? Like I'm like Michael Bay, and I'm difficult to do. I've actually worked with Michael Bay. He's a little bit of a potty mouth, otherwise, but he can be difficult. And so supercar is the description that our Michael Bay gave us. And then he came to the studio head and he said, I want a 3D model of a supercar. I'm not going to give you any more description than it should kind of look like that. And here it is. The production company was able to spit out a 3D model. Then he says that 3D model should be a song. That's the crazy thing he said. And then we were able to do it here with the AI agent. That to me is pretty wild, guys. I don't know. Okay, so now let's talk about our horse ranch. So okay, so I can actually, you can see here I have multiple projects that I can work on at the same time, and these actually are different studio heads. So there's different memory capacities for each of these. This is just an example of the stuff that we've been doing on the convention floor here. Some cool, interesting stuff. Let's see what we have here. Nice. So these are the requests that we were getting on the convention floor. This type of stuff. Beautiful, right? Ooh, amazing. Some kind of I don't know, like mansion foyer thing. Okay, so each one of these is its own studio head or like its own AI agent. So it has its own discrete memory. So if I wanted to, I could keep going in the same conversation, and it would remember all these things about this farmhouse. This one's a farmhouse kitchen. It would remember all these things about the farmhouse kitchen as it's making our horse ranch, if we wanted to do that. Or we could make a new conversation. So let's do that. Okay, so here is the intro instructions. While I'm making this horse ranch, I'm going to address this question from Electra. How can you talk big picture on how this tool can be used in different settings, use cases for cinematic experiences, exhibitions, etc.? Great. So the first, just to be clear, the first iteration that we have is this thing, right? The Infinite Studio Viewer for XR Virtual Production. So this has all our ARFX, tool sets integrated into it. like tracking everything like that. And anytime that you want to track somebody's perspective and be able to have cinematic control over the scene, this tool is going to be relevant, right? It's going to be helpful for several goodies that you need inside of it. So whether you're tracking a human's perspective, whether you're tracking a camera's perspective, whatever it is that you are doing, that's basically this is what you need for that. So in the past, we have built experientials now that track a user's head, their gestures, everything like that. If you wanted to do an integration with something like an interactive screen, something like this, or some type of public exhibition, you absolutely could. Just need to discuss that with us and build those tools out for you. I want something that feels like romantic and maybe a little bit historical, not a modern era thing. I want it to feel like provincial, like maybe like um 1700s, 1800s, Denmark, something like that is what I have in my mind. Okay. So let me do so we are at a let's do 18 and let's do 1760s. So I put 1760s horse ranch in Brussels, romantic scene with rolling hills and horses in the midground and background, grazing gently in the dusk light, somber. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. Gosh. Okay, upscale this sucker. Yeah, so this is actually quite a number of different generative AI that are being used, and we're only going to be adding more to this. Right now we're supporting about 9. Um and we'll support more. The reason one of the reasons that we're not openly sharing the models right now is because they are shifting um regularly, meaning that if so, let's say that Google came out with something today, and we felt that it was a better choice for filmmakers from a cost, speed, and quality standpoint. Um, it takes us about 12 hours to swap out a new model and put it into the system. And most importantly, it doesn't require you to update the ARFX app that you have on your device. So right now we're at version 1.0.13. That's what you should be getting on the website right now. And so if I update every single generative AI model tomorrow, you won't have to download a new version of the tool. And the reason for that is because the way that it works is that the chat agent is actually intermediary between you and the and every single one of the generative AI models. So it's taking what you're giving it, and you know, and basically translating that specifically for what's going to be suited for each model. So it's not going to tell the music one the same thing that it's going to tell the image one. And here's what's crazy. It will not tell the music one the same thing that it's telling the image one, even if you tell it exactly the same thing. So if I say supercar to the image one, it's going to say something specific. And if I say supercar to the music one, then it's going to take that single word and spin it up into something descriptive that gets me hopefully what I want. And the other thing about that's interesting thing about this that we were able to prove last time is that we can create consistency, spatial consistency, by using the chat agent as an intermediary. So I'm downloading the 4K version, and then I'm downloading the depth map. Both of these are PNGs. Bring in my new ranch and depth map. Okay. gosh. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so there's wow, it got the depth of the hills and like everything. It's pretty crazy. Okay. And once again, I have full color control. I want to dial this in into a different kind of feel. I totally can. I could also like build a ranch house and put in the foreground here, like on the left there. Maybe what if I were to do such a thing? Show me a ranch house to put on this ranch. It should be like I don't know, like a nice sky blue color. Show me an image more focused on the ranch and ranch house. And this looks like a barn. Make it more of a house. Right? That's a barn. Like I don't know what it's thinking. Um all right. Okay. Maybe. In the center of the house, make it larger in frame. Like now that's a sky blue ranch house, right? Like okay. So let me see if I can turn let me this one might be better for the 3D model. So have it blown your mind yet? I want to be clear. We haven't touched Unreal Editor or nothing. Like I'm here on my laptop, it wouldn't really even be able to open Unreal Editor 5.5, just to be clear. Like I wouldn't be able to even open it. Here I am making like a 3D environment, pretty much doing it however I want. And make a 3D model, I can make a backdrop, I can make music, audio. It's freaking amazing, right? And it's only going to have more models. Okay, so I've got lots of messages here. I'm sorry, I have not been looking at the chat. Very bad. You are not okay. So thank you everyone for the kind words. So how are filmmakers using this platform in their workflow? So this is being used quite a bit by for commercials and stuff like that. To do quick and dirty backgrounds, industrials, and that type of thing. I think that we have a huge complement of hobbyists, video hobbyists, who are using the tool, and for just kind of everything that you can think of. Just like make a little video for my business or for my YouTube channel or whatever. Okay. Are you required to upscale depth map before you convert it into a video, or is it simply recommended? So you don't have to upscale you can turn an image directly into a video. And actually, the HD resolution is going to be good enough to base the video off of. So that's perfectly fine. I'm going through the whole process of like in a linear process. I'll be frank with you. I'm doing that because prior to a week ago, you had to use the tool that way in order to demo it properly. Now you don't have to do that at all. You can just come in here and just press iterate and say make a video and you're done. So that iterate button didn't exist before. So now you can do that. And also, I want to be clear, you can now upload your own imagery. This was the number one question that we got at the last webinar. Can I upload my own images? And can I like do the thing where like I upload some images and I go, oh, combine these all together into like a super image? Yeah, you can do that. It's right here. There's the upload button. It's right to the left of the text field. Okay, so oh wait, here's my house. So I've got my house. I'm gonna bring my house into my scene. Ranch house. All right, so while my video is loading, I'll just come in here. bring in my ranch house. Where are you, ranch house? Sorry, if I was to go any faster in this virtual camera, I'd just be zipping. So I'd just be in the stratosphere in 1 second. So that's why it's going a little slow. Okay. All right. So the lining's all off. I've got my sunset back here, and then I need more of a sunset thing happening on my house. There we go. Um, okay, so let's get this mesh closer to me. Just press, this is now editable text fields because I was messing up all the time. Okay, so here we go. Gosh, so this probably should be finer control. Tell the engineer. Oh man. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got the whole thing now. Obviously I need to scale down my background here. It's like massive. Hmm? No, I messed up again. Look at that. Okay. So this should be like -10. There we go. Okay. Now I need the finer controls. So let me dial those in. So we're up here. So as you can see, there's some work to be done here. But the basics are in place. We have a 3D file in the foreground near that I can get parallax with. We've got the 2D backdrop or 2.5D backdrop in the deep background. And I merely have to get the spatial proportion of these correct, and I'm ready to kind of shoot. Of course, I also need textures. And it looks like I need probably a slightly higher quality 3D model. I mean, this is like fine, but it's like could use work, right? And thank you so much for the questions, by the way. It's very nice. Creative partner. We offer creative partner. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. So we do have a production company at AR Wall. It's called Glowcraft Films. Um, what? Okay. So sorry, I just need to point something out here. So remember when I said that it's going to remember your preferences if you're in the same conversation here? So what's wild is that it remembered that I wanted to put a blue ranch house. Um, Sorry, this is wild. So I iterated off of this image, this first one where we had no blue ranch house. Then we discussed the ranch and we discussed the blue house and everything like that. Then I asked it to go back and make an image of the ranch, and it put the blue house in. Sorry, this just blew my mind. I don't even know. I guess that's the reason why you would want to make different conversations because it's gonna try and smash everything that you're talking about together into one. Oh man. Um, like an AI tools for filmmakers offer access to use it with some amount of tokens or credits. So it's $99 a month right now. That's, I mean, to me, to get this equivalent functionality and other tools, you'd be paying $200 to $500 a month. And the way that we're doing it here is you can see that the chat agent does a lot of the work for you. So what we found is that just a significantly smaller amount of prompting that you're doing here than you'd be doing on other platforms. I've even had situations where people have walked up from the major studios, like, well, I shouldn't name them, but some of the major movie studios, and they've basically been completely turned off by the AI prior to talking to us. And then we generated the stuff for them with a single prompt off of our tool, and they were 100% converted in a matter of 15 seconds. So I think that what from the filmmaker standpoint, what's happening here is we can constrain down the output of the tool, to the extent that you're actually walking away with a single prompt solution. And there's nobody else really right now talking about what that would require or what that it would even mean for you. And the only reason kind of way that you can achieve that is by having that memory of the chat agent, consistently remembering your preferences. And I think that we may even down the line have a kind of universal preferences like across the entire app, so that it kind of not just understands what you want for the specific scene, but what you want for your entire project and output as a creator. Additionally, you would be able to kind of double click in on those preferences and see them as a set of tags and actually alter what tags are associated with your preference as a creator, as a designer. And you conceivably also be able to create additional creator profiles. So if you're wondering why you should pay for this, which is my response to you, it's that we're going to be making something for you that is significantly more powerful than any other tool on the market. And I hope that today you've seen that this is something that could be valuable in your tool set. Please reach out to us at hello@arwall.co, if and let us know what you have in mind. And we're of course always open to considering anything that anyone proposes. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to the second webinar for AR Wall, focused on ARFX Infinite Studio, the two-time AI Product of the Year winner now. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback at the webinar today, and I hope so much that you take some time to try the tool, tell other folks about it. And here's the thing: if you make something with the ARFX Infinite Studio, if you make something cool, please tell us about it, post it on social media and tag us, or email us the link, and we will support you and on your creation and make sure that people are aware of what you've been up to. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to the webinar once again. It is 3 minutes past 1 p.m. That means I'm done. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, the next webinar will be posted next week. You can always find it on an event on our Eventbrite. If you've been part of this webinar or any webinar in the past, you'll also be invited to that next one. So you can see that invite coming in the future. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.